Hello, welcome back to another edition of the Simpsons Season Review. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, please feel free and check them out. In this video, we'll be reviewing Season 2, Episode 16, Bart's Dog Gets an F. And this episode is a reference to the episode Bart Gets an F, which is the first episode from Season 2, which is still the highest rated episode. And this episode first aired on March the 7th of 1991.
Now going back to the ratings, so the ratings for this episode, considering it's another episode with Bart's name somewhere in the title, it actually does see a decline from the previous episode's ratings.
But it's still decent for the earlier Simpsons.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see the decline as we get further on.
Yeah, basically down nearly 3 million views. It's down to 23.9, but yeah, still pretty decent and still keeping in that 20 million mark.
Yeah.
And also to say from the title, main storyline for this one, Santa's little helper becoming a destructive, disobedient dog, and yeah, there's basically the family feud, that sort of thing. And the second storyline arc to it is
Lisa gets the mumps,
and and basically adding a patch to a quilt, and basically a quilt episode or quilt storyline sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the episode itself starts off setting up the fact of Santa's little helper being this destructive force, destroying Homer's newspaper, trying to eat his breakfast.
But it's Homer's fault because he did leave his breakfast on the kitchen table. So if you got a dog who's not obedient, then it's your own fault.
Yeah, basically he does eventually eat the breakfast after Homer does the typical Homer thing of shouting up to Marge, thinking she's going to feed Santa's little helper instead of Homer. Homer then just ties him up outside anyway, just to keep him out of the way. While he's outside, he manages to dig up a crusty doll in the backyard.
How that crusty doll got there, no idea. Would he have done it himself? But he'd have to go, I presume it's Bart's doll. He'd have to go in Bart's room, get it from Bart's room, come all the way down the stairs, get in the garden, dig the hole, put the crusty doll in the hole and bury it. Now, would he do that? I wouldn't have thought so, to be honest.
And the other option of maybe Homer burying it seems a bit far-fetched as well. I
think they just put that in as no question as to how it got there, to be honest. To add to the storyline of the episode.
Yeah. But to set up Santa's helper being disobedient and doing all these things, they reveal that it's basically down to the fact that Santa's helper can't understand a word that anybody's saying to him anyway. It just comes out as gibberish to him. So when he hears the crusty doll talking, can't understand it, he just buries it again.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I say, we get on to this point that Marge has discovered that Lisa's ill and can't go to school. She then gives her own opinion that it's the mumps, and leads to her ringing Dr. Hibbert.
Yeah, I can't blame Dr. Hibbert for being a bit not angry, but wondering how you got my number. He's having a nice dinner with his family.
I assume this is breakfast. Obviously, this is the morning.
Breakfast. Yeah, breakfast. And then she rings him up about Lisa's got the mumps. He goes, "How did you get my number?"
Yeah.
Which is a debut appearance of Bernice Hibbert as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Again, with Bernice Hibbert, I don't think she's really had her own storyline going forward. She has been seen as.
What about the children? Is that the line she uses?
No, that's Ellen Lovejoy. But
Ellen
again,
Lovejoy.
She is sort of like, she is a similar thing. She just become one of the gossip wives.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
She does.
But yeah, leading on from that, although Marge reveals over the phone to Dr. Hibbert how she got his number, we still don't know to this day how she got it.
No, we don't know. It weren't put in.
Yeah. But again, that could just be the case of, we'll let Dr. Hibbert find out, but we won't reveal it because we haven't thought of it ourselves anyway. But yeah, Hibbert sees Lisa eventually and confirms that it is the mumps. This then leads off into a couple of different directions. Lisa ringing Homer for the magazines.
Yeah.
Which
he eventually tells, because Lenny was with him, that can you look after the fort while I get my daughter's magazines. And then Lenny just sits there, chilled back, which I think was funny. And when if there was a nuclear meltdown, what's Lenny going to do?
But to be fair, it's a nuclear meltdown. What's Homer going to do?
Well, press all the buttons like a later episode he did.
But yeah, so yeah, he then goes and gets the magazine.
Even though the guy didn't believe it was for his daughter.
Yeah.
You're not going to though, are you? I mean, if you're going to a counter and you are saving this person to getting these girly magazines, you're going to think, no, you're getting them for yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, prior to this, he's already met Ned in
the street.
After he's gone to retrieve Sal's little helper, who manages to break out of his never break dog collar.
Well, it's his Homer who put it on him.
Yeah, and after he's had a stand-up argument with his neighbour over the fact that Sal's little helper can't be in the swimming pool because he's tied up outside his house in his garden, and he's looking at him right now.
Then he goes, "Go!"
Yeah. But yeah, from this conversation with Ned, he discovers that Ned's got the assassin trainers.
Which are worth $125, remember rightly?
Yeah. But at the same point, even at that point, he doesn't show any interest in wanting them. He admires them, but he doesn't look like he wants them. But he's with him being at the shopping mall, after he's bought the magazines, he then goes past the cookie shop, gets given free samples. Well, for Homer, just to eat an entire cookie.
Exactly.
Then gets quite argumentative when they start talking about price.
But he still buys it.
Yep. But then that's where he then ends up outside the shoe shop and sees the assassins.
Then he has Flanders Bubble.
Yeah,
tells him to get him.
Yeah, this is after he's had a heart-to-heart with himself about how he should buy them, but he can't afford them. And then, yeah, Flanders, of all peoples, the person who tells him to buy them, even if it is in speech bubble form.
Yeah.
But the price tag is only revealed by Bart.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first instance of Homer wanting to strangle Bart, but Marge intervening.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically have an argument about how they were supposed to have discussions about big purchases. To which I believe Homer responds, "Well, just a minute, you didn't consult me on all those fire alarms you bought, and we haven't had a single fire."
Typical Homer.
Yeah. But yeah, he ends up just leaving the assassins in the closet, basically.
He did put them out of the way from the dog. It weren't his fault eventually when the actual shoelace comes dangling down.
Yeah. But yeah, it conveniently dangles down, and Sal's helper just does what he does best. He basically destroys them.
Don't know what I'd do. I don't know if I'd be angry or I'd cry, spending $125 on a pair of shoes. What I just got, trainers what I just purchased. And it's like, bye-bye. Yeah. Then he tried to take them back to the shop.
Then basically says they fell apart in the dog's mouth.
Yeah.
Even though the store clerk's not buying anything. He's like, we don't cover against acts of dog.
Good excuse, but never going to work.
Yeah, exactly. They clearly been ripped apart anyway. You can't really say they've fallen apart in a dog's mouth.
No.
From this, Homer then wants to put Sal's little helper into obedience school anyway. But on the other side, on Lisa's storyline, at this point, we've then started the quilt storyline. Because she's ill, it's like, what's she gonna do? And that's when Marge reveals about the quilt that's been in the family for 6 generations. And then basically doesn't tell Lisa, but it's basically like, it's your turn to add a patch to the quilt, basically.
Yeah, she does Bleeding Gums Murphy and the music
Mr.
teacher.
Largo.
Yeah.
Because they're inspirations for her music and all this. Even though beforehand she's like, well, I can't sew. At this point, we then get Marge revealing how it flows in the genes, basically.
She learns it pretty quick. I know she's a gene. I know she's got the brains, but she learns sewing pretty quick.
Yeah, but again, then on the other hand, going forward from this episode onwards, they never come back to the sewing anyway.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, learn it quickly, but then never use it
Yeah,
again.
and the way Marge throws a sewing needle up in the air and to get the thread through. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, but that whole sequence. Oh yeah, you got a sewing finger and then sets fire to her own finger.
I know, yeah.
So it's like a bit far fetched, suspension of disbelief and all that sort of thing. But yeah, through this, Marge then wants to show Homer what Lisa's done, because they leave it unattended. Sounds like Helper finds it, destroys it just after he's at Homer's cookie. Homer's consoling Marge about how it's a quote and you can always do another one.
But as soon as he finds out about the cookie, because it's food...
He's more upset about
exactly.
that.
That's when he wants the meeting downstairs in the kitchen to get rid of Santa's little helper.
Yeah, obviously Bart's upset about this because it's his pet and he loves him to bits. But then strikes up a deal that if he passes obedience school, they'll keep him. Even though Marge and Homer agree to this, straight away they're basically admitting the fact that he's not going to pass. Homer wants to do the ad for selling him, and Marge basically turns around and goes, "Do you not think it's a bit too quick? Do you not want to leave it until he actually does fail obedience school?" And
he takes him to obedience school, which is the debut appearance of Emily Winthorpe.
Yeah, basically the lady who runs the obedience school, but I think she just appears as a background character. I think this is the only point where she has really a major speaking role.
Even Martin's there as well with his dog. If you've seen,
But yeah, with the obedience school, it's quickly put into motion that Santa's Helper is basically not
unteachable. At first.
Yeah, basically, every other dog in the class can do the basics. They even do the staying session by putting a beef bounce on the floor, but even with Bart trying to beg and plead and grab hold of him, he still just eats it anyway. And basically, at this point, no one's got faith that he can even pass anyway. The teacher, basically, her method is to choke the dogs when they're not doing anything right, even though Bart doesn't want to choke him, because he jumps on his lap when Bart tries to, doesn't bribe her, but sort of asks her to pass him, because it won't make much of a difference if one dog passes. But yeah, it just leads up to the final scene, well, second to last scene, but the last proper scene of the episode. Bart's still trying to get him to be obedient, and it's the point where Lisa comes in, and she's even given up, basically telling Bart not to wait.
Yeah, he's only got a few hours until he's going.
Yeah, so they basically have one last night of fun, and then Bart gets emotional about how he's going to miss him, but he doesn't understand basic commands, and from this, he suddenly starts understanding what Bart's saying.
Pretty quick. Yeah, it's like it was rushed.
Yeah, and plus even when you can hear it from Santa's perspective, they're still doing the whole blah 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 bit, but he can understand the key bits. So yeah, it's rushed and it just seems a bit. Well, he's only understanding bits, but he's only understanding the bits that are important.
Yeah, it ruined it a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, and basically we just end with him basically passing anyway to everybody's surprise. Even Homer's having to suddenly come round to the fact that Santa's Helper is an obedient dog. And yeah, that's basically the episode itself.
And the moment where Lisa and Marge are touching their sewing fingers together and the music playing as they do so is a reference to the E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Yeah, but basing both the music background and the finger pointing.
Yeah.
Also, you got here Dan Castelletta. He actually voices Troy McClure in this episode rather than Phil Hartman. But again, if you listen to it, you can sort of tell that it's a different voice.
Yeah. Also, Lisa is wearing a teal nightgown for almost the entire episode. However, she does not wear her usual red dress with her necklace at all in this episode. Is that a first?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, both the red dress and the necklace doesn't wear them at any point in the episode. But yeah, just basically trying to do something different, I assume, with this one. Also with this one, we do get a brief reference to a character who's been in a previous episode, the Babysitter Bandit.
Yeah, you see it on the TV. See him on the TV.
That she's escaped.
She's escaped, sorry.
So basically going back a bit there as well.
Also, in one episode, Bart's dog does bite his owner, and Homer doesn't care.
Yeah, it seems again a bit weird from that one.
Yeah. And also, Kent Brockman reports that Miss Botts has escaped from prison you rooted from before.
Yeah, basically Babysitter Bandit. Yeah. Going on to some of the goofs and errors in this one. When Ned shows Homer his new shoes, his glasses are present in some shots but missing others.
Yeah.
So again, like we say in other ones, continuity and all that sort of thing. Also, in the first scene at the obediency school, Emily Winthorpe, speaking in a generic English accent, angrily denounces those who use dog training methods of which she disapproves as bloody twits. In authentic British English, the term twit is nearly always used in a joking or half-joking manner, even when hostile. It's still quite a mild term, not a strong one like it's depicted in this one.
Yeah. Also, as Bart is attempting to train Santa's little helper near the end, he unwittingly tells the dog to sit, which he does. However, due to the muscle flexibility, greyhounds that have been raced at some point in their life cannot physically sit.
So, again, error or just the fact he didn't really...
I think error, and he didn't physically read up about it, to be honest. I think he just put it in there, to be honest.
Anything else to add to the episode itself?
I think that's it, to be honest. Want to go for the positives and negatives? Do negatives first. Negative, I'd say Lisa went into soap too quickly, and the end scene as well with Santa's little helper.
Well, yeah, the obedience school as a whole, just for the fact that it's, as we said, they seem to take forever setting it up, and then by the time they set it up, it just doesn't last that long. Maybe they could have cut a few middling scenes out and then sort of tried to bring it in a bit sooner. Maybe not put as much on the front of the episode of Santa's little helper being destructive and all this.
Yeah.
Maybe take some of that destruction out, but sort of then put it into the obedience school and show a bit more of how bad a dog he is for being obedient and all this sort of thing. But like you say, the sewing element as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Going from the fact we know that Lisa can't sew to being able to sew in weak tops. But then again, the Marge element to it as well, like you alluded to.
Lighted the fire as well.
Basically, the fact that she's an experienced sewer, so she can do all these crazy things with the needles.
I've never seen it done.
Maybe it can be done, but it just seems a bit too
far-fetched.
Yeah. Any other negatives?
I don't think there is, to be honest.
Maybe one other one that I alluded to earlier, the fact that with Santa's little helper and not understanding, the fact that when he does finally understand, it seems to be the fact it sounds like Bart's saying other things, yet he only actually understands the main points. What's being said.
Yeah, that could be a negative.
Even though I believe that maybe Bart is only telling him to sit down, roll over, and all this sort of stuff, and just the gibberish just shouldn't even be there at all, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can understand for the first part when he's saying sit, but the fact he's still doing it in other points in that scene. But
I agree with you on that one, to be honest. I can't think of any other negatives.
Positives for the episode?
There's quite a few, to be honest. Surprisingly, Marge and Lisa having a connection in the episode. sewing together, having a mother and daughter connection. I thought that was fitting for the episode as a whole.
I mean, it's not the first mother-daughter connection he had. They did have brief bit in the camping episode in the first series, but again, I think this is the first episode where they've properly sort of tried to delve into a mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah, because they were doing something for the family, weren't they? The quilt, adding to the quilt, it was more. They were closer together in this one.
In effect, it was the Bouvier side of it, so taking it away from the Simpsons style of it as well. So it's not all about the Simpsons family. There's a bit of Bouvier in there, even though there was no other Bouvier characters in the episode.
Yeah.
Other positives?
Yeah, but Bart didn't give up on his dog. All throughout the episode, he was helping his dog. He didn't want to give up on him, and it paid off in the end. Even though the teacher said use a choke chain, Bart didn't want to do it. He did it once, but then he regretted it. Apologised, and then he was nice to the dog. He played with him at the end of the episode, and eventually he was obedient.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a fitting way. If anybody's gonna get through to Santa's Little Helper, then Bart, because basically he is Bart's
dog
pet.
Yeah,
he's a family pet, but he's been portrayed more as being Bart's best friend. Bart's dog, Bart's pet throughout the series. It's one of the key things that they've kept him from the beginning. Okay, maybe the first episode it was probably shown as, oh, it's a family pet, but from at least the second series onwards, they put forward the plot that he's basically Bart's dog.
Yeah.
Although he's a family dog, he's more Bart's dog. So yeah, if anybody was going to get Santa's Little Helper to be obedient, then
it was Bart.
They did actually pick the right character in it being
Bart.
Did,
yeah.
Because he could have gone down the route of like, oh, Homer suddenly says something and he listens to him or something ridiculous like that. He could have ruined
that.
It.
Wouldn't have worked. That would have ruined the episode. I'll go back to a negative thought of one. Homer caring too much about his cookie rather than in his wife's quilt, basically.
Yeah, but again, that's like you say, that's Homer for you. He only thinks about beer or food.
Yeah, well, thinks about himself, basically.
Yeah, they do try to put him across as being a family man, but he is at times.
Yeah, family man who strangles his son.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, but again, that was obviously just put in as that cheat gag. Yeah, the quilt's being destroyed, but the cookie's more important to Homer.
Yeah.
Even though he thought, but again, he puts a note on the cookie, don't touch. It's like, well, Santa's Little Helper's not going to read that.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know whether he was actually intending it to be against Santa's Little Helper, but you'd imagine it must have been at least in the back of his mind after he's just destroyed his...
More than likely, if you see a sign saying don't touch, you are going to touch it and eat it.
Yeah, but as we say, Santa's Little Helper just doesn't understand anyway.
No.
He can't hear anything, so he won't be able to read anything.
Any other positives can you think of?
None that spring to mind.
Well, the episode as a whole, I'd say, is a positive. Like I said before, Marge and Lisa connection, Bart not giving up on his dog. It's sort of telling you that, for Bart's point, never give up on something in Bart's part with a dog. Never give up on something. And it's sort of telling you Lisa and Marge's family is an important part.
I mean, I suppose another slight positive is the fact of, with Lisa being ill, she didn't hammer home the fact that she wanted to go to school. As I said previously, I'm sure she did it in a later episode, but with this one, it was like the fact of, although she wanted her homework, she was still willing to do other things, like you say, with Marge. So they sort of gave her character another dimension there, even if they wouldn't follow up on the skill in later episodes. Because again, Lisa's character is probably one of the most undeveloped that they've had.
Yeah, I'd agree on that.
Because really, she's mostly about school most of the time, and the only time she isn't is when she's really desperate for friends, or when they're going to new places. It's like, she wants to be friends with people, so she'll hide a nerdiness.
Yeah, well, most of the time she doesn't fit into the Simpsons, does she, really? She feels like she's not part of the family because she's reigning in all of them.
Yeah. I think the only true connection she had straight away was with Mona.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
But apart from that, she may have had slight connections with other members of the family, but they've only been fleeting ones. I think with Mona, I think they always had the connection of Lisa being smart and Mona being maybe not being as smart, but nurturing a smartness sort of thing, and not being like the rest of the family and just being like, oh, you're too smart for your own good and that sort of thing. So yeah, just a nice little thing that, although they try and put across that Lisa is still wanting her homework, they're not basically going full out and going, oh, she wants to be at school even though she's ill sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any other negatives, positives?
I think that's it, to be honest. I think we've covered everything we need to cover.
Yep.
If we've missed anything out from a negative or positive, or you want to comment about the episode which we've also missed out, put your comment down below.
Like, share, subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next video.